Hi, this is Josh McEwen here with Dufferin News, and today I'm joined by a friend of the outlet, Sarah Clarke, founder of Dufferin Media, the one-stop shop digital marketing firm located here right in Dufferin. Sarah is with me to discuss the Digital Main Street program. Hi, Sarah. Thank you so much for your time. Would you mind telling us what the Digital Main Street program is and who it is meant for?
Thanks, Josh, for having me on today. The Digital Main Street Transformation Grant is something that we were introduced to last year because a number of our clients applied for it when it was first available. And we were really thrilled with how much it was able to help the clients with different solutions for websites or social media, help their business get through the lockdowns and the pandemic. So they reopened it this year, which is amazing. I think they're calling it round 3. Yeah. So the Digital Transformation Grant is a $2,500 grant that's available for eligible businesses to use towards digital solutions that will help them transform and grow their business online.
That's very helpful during the pandemic because, there's a lot of us or a lot of businesses that still haven't made that jump yet who could still benefit, even though they've made it through the pandemic this far. Because, we're not out of it yet. And there's still opportunities to grow. And some of those subsidies will be going away in the near future. So, it will be important to make sure that you're sustainable on your own.
This is an amazing opportunity for so many businesses. We audit businesses on a regular basis, and it's disheartening to see how many business owners still don't have their digital foundations in place. So I think this is just an opportunity not to be missed, where the government and the other organizations that are involved are helping small business owners get that step up.
Yeah. And if you don't do it, your competition might. And that's a big problem. Again, the subsidies are going away soon in the near future. And eventually, even if it's not in the next few months here, they eventually will go away. So it's important that we are ready for the future. And people have gotten into habits they don't want to get rid of. And that is dealing online for a lot of people. So makes a ton of sense. And if you don't feel that need, someone else will.
Yep, exactly.
So what is required of the businesses going through the program?
So initially, they just need to complete a small questionnaire on the Digital Main Street website to see if their business is eligible. It only takes about 10 minutes, maybe not even. Then they're required to watch a series of videos, of educational videos, which I personally haven't watched yet, but my understanding is they're very educational. There's 10 hours available, but you only have to watch 2.5 for the requirement. Based on feedback of some of the clients that we've worked with, they actually sat down and watched all of them because they were so helpful in all different areas of their business.
Yeah, I'll disclose, I've been through the videos for the program. They're very helpful. And if you're a small business, regardless of a small business owner, regardless of where your knowledge is at, you will benefit from this. I went to school for information systems. I have quite a knowledge about digital and business. I still learned a lot. And I think many other business owners will too, because it gives you right from the beginning of what you need all the way to the end, especially that 10-hour program. Not saying it's necessary, because I understand that many business owners do not have the time for that, especially during all this. But it is beneficial. And even that 2.5-hour program, especially when it possibly puts $2,500 in your pocket to actually improve your business, that is a big deal. And it's not a big, like Sarah said, it's maybe 5 to 10 minutes for that initial questionnaire to find out if you're eligible or not. And then after that, you just begin the actual process.
Yeah. And then once they're done the videos, my understanding is they get the application document, which needs to be completed. I don't believe it's very long or cumbersome. I know personally, I've been through some grants in the past that were like 40 pages of information I had to fill out, which is overwhelming and exhausting. And Digital Main Street has made it much easier for business owners to complete the information. So the feedback I've gotten, it's really not that overwhelming compared to other grant programs. So we're very lucky to be able to offer something that's easy to get through.
Yeah. And even if you compare it to the past intakes of the Digital Main Street program, it has been simplified quite a bit, and it's a lot less work involved, including with that digital transformation program. Not just the videos, because you used to have to watch a lot more videos, but you also with that digital transformation plan, they've cut it and simplified it quite a bit. I think most people could even possibly manage it on their own, although there is assistance available to people. So,
Yeah.
that is great. Through the town of Orangeville, through social media companies. There's all kinds of ways to help take advantage of this program.
Yeah, I've spoken to a couple business owners that weren't quite sure what to put in the digital, like what they should use the grant for.
Yes.
So that's where we were able to step in and have a conversation about what the goals were for the business, what their current challenges were, so that we could kind of come up with a strategy for them to put in their plan if it made sense for them to use those funds towards a website or website upgrade, or perhaps the funds would be better spent on search engine optimization or social media. Or even something else. I think that there's funding available for certain equipment and promotional equipment. I believe that there was a client who actually invested part of the money in a light box so that she could photograph some of her products. So there's different ways that we can that we can assist and have assisted in coming up with that plan based on the client's goals and their current challenges.
That makes a ton of sense. I mean, another piece of hardware that I know that I think they push in the program is the Square terminals that allow you to collect payments on the go with people. And that's beneficial for all kinds of businesses.
Yeah, and you know what? Square is a really friendly program to integrate into websites. Incredibly friendly. So if they want to add some of their products or even services online, then Square can just be the payment choice online as well.
That's awesome. So, I mean, this kind of gets into the question, like it's not just good enough to have a website. I mean, we know that for a lot of us, we already know that, but for this program, it is actually meant for people that have more than a website, like, or that want more than just a website, right?
Oh, 100%. I mean, yes, the website is your primary digital foundation that every business should have. You will never convince me otherwise. A website is the digital asset that your business owns and controls, whereas the other pieces, they don't necessarily. If your business already has a website, though, there's lots of other ways to use funds in order to elevate your website or your business online. So you could make improvements to your website by adding content, doing some search engine optimization, which will help get more traffic to your site, which will inevitably get you more customers and more sales and more revenue. But there's other ways that you could invest as well with your social media marketing. There are a lot of businesses that are not yet on TikTok or taking advantage of Instagram Reels, which are incredibly productive in terms of awareness and building your brand. So that is actually one of the choices you could use for the digital Main Street grant, is to get into some of these new technologies that businesses are finding far more effective than some of the other social media pieces. So there's so many opportunities. It really does depend on the business, on their goals and their target audience and what they're looking to do.
And that's the great thing about this program is it's pretty versatile. Like it leaves it open for any kind of business or all the eligible businesses, wherever they are in their development, wherever they are digitally, to take advantage of it. What can't the funding from the Digital Main Street program be used for?
So you will find that information on the website. But my understanding is it can't be used for anything that you've already purchased or committed to. And it can't be used for anything that would normally be paid out, like salaries or, the other one that applies to our business is website domain and hosting. You can't use the grant towards that. But for a full list, I suggest you go to the Digital Main Street site just to check out any other requirements, or if you have any questions, then directly for them, then you could definitely just ask them through the process.
That's awesome. And from what I understand, that Orangeville has a coordinator as well for this program, Christine Hahn.
Yeah.
She's their digital services coordinator to help businesses get through this as well. So
yeah, so I don't know if other regions in Ontario are as lucky as we are here in Dufferin County, but Christine is available to answer questions and help businesses work through their application. We've been working with businesses in other areas, and I haven't heard that they actually have someone that they're working with. I'm sure they do, but we're really lucky because Christine is very well versed in the community, understands businesses.
Awesome. That is great. Even someone such as myself, who I consider myself relatively savvy on this stuff, it's beneficial to have extra set of eyes and people to talk to, such as yourself and Christine, to help you get through this. Because it can be, even though it isn't, like, honestly, if you actually look at it and take it for what it is. It isn't overwhelming, but I mean, just given what people are going through these days, it's understandable how people can perceive it that way, especially if they've looked at past iterations of the program.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I know business owners are getting through the process within a couple of days and getting the funds in their account that quickly. And even sometimes coming to us after the fact and saying, I've been approved, I have the funds, what should I be spending it on now? And it really is something that I can't imagine why a business would not take advantage of it. And we have had those discussions where they just are a little bit, I don't know if they're just overwhelmed already, which is understandable because we're going through a pandemic, but it really isn't that much time. And it really is so beneficial to your business to take advantage of it. And, it will help you in the long run.
Well, like some people are stuck in their ways. I mean, they've been doing their business the way they have for years and they don't want to go, like they don't feel like they need to. But honestly, after this, and if you're still relying on supports, I'd be very wary of the future, especially if somebody else, like competition's popping up still, and never mind existing competition that is adapting to the environment. And I mean, if you don't change, your lunch could get eaten. Like it could be very, very dangerous for people.
Well, I'll share even some new companies, not just, I agree. There's a lot of business owners I talk to that are, they've been around for a long time. They perceive themselves as successful. They don't think they need to change. That's dangerous, in my opinion. You are right. There's also the newer type businesses where I'm seeing pop up that are only potentially running their business on Instagram, for example. I've actually run into quite a few of those.
Yeah.
And I find that extremely dangerous because now you're putting all of your digital eggs and your business in one social media platform that you have no control over. And in fact, I've worked with business owners that have lost their Instagram accounts because they've been hacked. I think we might have talked about that.
We have. It still rings with me.
Yeah. And so they lose all their contacts, they lose all their followers, they lose their business overnight. So I think we're maybe getting a little off topic here, but the point is that there's so much to your digital presence that investing in it wisely for the long term is something that's going to make sure that you're successful and growing all the time.
Exactly. I mean, these platforms change so quickly. I mean, and one day you're hot, one day you're not. So I mean, it's really important that you're kind of everywhere. And I mean, talking with people such as yourself and taking these funds and actually making effective use of them is a way to do that, and a way to make sure you don't take as much of a risk as you maybe perceived you would have otherwise. Because I mean, again, if that cost is taken away, that helps a lot. I mean, there's still time involved. There's no doubt. Like no one's trying to downplay that, but I mean, taking away some of the risk is very helpful. Okay, so what is a digital transformation plan and what's involved with it?
So the digital transformation plan is the part of the grant application that explains what you plan to use your funds for. And that's where you might identify that, yes, you have a website, but you'd like to use the grant to improve the website. And you plan to do that by adding content, getting it search engine optimized to some extent, maybe upgrading the theme so that it just has a new, fresh look to it. So the digital transformation plan is identifying what you would plan to use the grant for and what the benefits would be. So the benefits to your business, if you were using it for that, would be that your website is going to get better search engine rankings, which will deliver more quality traffic, which will inevitably grow your business by giving you more customers, more leads, and more revenue. So that's sort of how that plan would work out.
Awesome. And yeah, like it kind of, and it's good to go through as well, because it kind of outlines like a plan for yourself. And I mean, that's what it is. It is a plan for yourself, but it's also, but it's a plan for the government to see that you're actually going to use the money the way it's supposed to be, or at least plan to. But it is a good exercise to go through, because it's like, okay, well, where are my weaknesses? Because that's in there. There's like a strength and weaknesses thing in there. And it kind of just like, okay, well, where am I missing? And what's my competition have up on me here? And I mean, how do I close that gap? But no, like that's great. I mean, and again, it isn't too long to do. Like it's not as bad as it used to be. I'm just remember looking at past plans. It's a lot more simple.
I would even say if it costs you 10 hours of your time, let's just say hypothetically speaking, you're earning $250 an hour for that time, that's valuable. That will benefit your business long term.
Yeah, no one's ever going to pay you that money to improve your own business. You're going to have to pay other people to improve your business, probably more than that.
And you could do something really creative and fun too. Like you could invest it in a TikTok campaign or something where you recognize that there's that opportunity to get on that new and exciting trend of the videos. Or, there's so many possibilities. So really just keep an open mind and think about what could benefit your business. And you can talk to a business advisor or a digital marketing advisor, a strategist like myself, and we can look at some different opportunities and possibilities for it.
Yeah, one thing that jumped out to me, and it's kind of nice, is photography. Because they emphasize in the program having good quality photos.
Yes.
And
Yes.
like you mentioned, you had a client wanting to get a light box.
Yeah.
And you can get equipment or you can hire photographers. There's a variety of different ways to do this to accomplish your goals, which is great. You're not stuck in one path.
Every business should invest in professional branding photography. It is the most valuable investment you will ever make. And there are businesses in town that will offer this at a very reasonable rate on an ongoing basis. To get those authentic pictures of your business professionally done will have 10 times the results on your website and social media. You can use it again and again and again. So I really, if you would like some referrals, if you're in the Orangeville, Dufferin area, you can reach out to me. I'd be happy to give some referrals. I have a couple that do branding on my list on a sort of regular basis. So I just had some photos done recently, some branding photos with Reflections by Patty, and they were beautiful. And I had my makeup done and the whole thing, but my headshot, of course, my professional headshot was done by Embrace Photography. We are so lucky. We have some really awesome talent here in Dufferin County. There's so many photographers that could help you. But even if you're a business where you're not necessarily showcasing your face, imagine the possibility of getting those professional photos or even some short videos done of your retail space or your restaurant and your actual servers serving the food. Just little clips like that can be multi-purposed everywhere. It's so powerful instead of using stock photos.
Exactly. And I mean, like you said, the reusability of them is great. You can use them for years, especially again, if they're well done and stuff. If you actually put real thought into what what you're taking photos of.
Mm-hmm. And that's a really good use of funds from the grant program, because we're only as good as the content that we're given for the websites, quite frankly. And if they give us no pictures, we have to use stock or kind of create our own. And it's always going to look better with authentic photos.
Well, yeah, like you don't want your competition having the same photos as you. Like that's not good. And I mean, and it can happen. It's bad enough when all the websites look the same, but I mean, if you all have the same photos, it's no good. And there's really no excuse for it, because again, we all have. They should be professional. There's no doubt, but we all have phones nowadays. We can all take photos.
Yeah, even if you can't, and I mean, that's what the digital grant is for. But
yeah,
honestly, if your business is not eligible and you're looking for ways to improve your results from your online presence, even taking pictures on your phone is better than using stock photos.
Exactly. Awesome.
So you and me are on the same page, Josh.
Yeah, it's
always.
That was one thing that was emphasized, or there was a lot of things emphasized, but the importance of content, which I know your company helps with, and including photos, is very important for a variety of different reasons, whether it's social media, website, like the website, or just customer knowledge, like marketing. It's just very important. So, and I think you can also spend money on advertising too, digital advertising.
Oh yeah, paid campaigns on social media. Yeah, there's lots of different options there.
It's great. I mean, before someone does that, they should probably talk with someone such as yourself so they know how to spend the money effectively, because there's no shortage of places looking to take your money from you online.
Yeah, and I see a lot of businesses that'll just throw $1,000 on a Facebook ad or $1,000 on a Google AdWords campaign. And if you don't have a strategy and know what you're doing behind it, that's just wasted money. So yeah, I mean, I would talk to a professional first. I personally am not a Google pay-per-click expert. We have one on our team. I constantly refer my questions to him because it's a very complicated market and very complicated system. So that's an example of why, as a business owner, I think it's important to refer to the professionals in their field. Like, I have a business coach. I get help in my business. I have a financial coach. Like, so I'm trying to run my business smartly and efficiently. And I think spending $1,000 on one of those ads without a strategy is a complete waste of money.
Well, yeah, like you're like most small business people aren't in marketing. Like they never went through for marketing. They have no real, like their business isn't that. Yours is, and others people's is. And they actually have the real knowledge. So you can actually go out there and work on getting yourself money. And not just through grant programs, but actually making like selling to customers and leaving the expert, like leaving it to the experts in the areas that they're great at, whether it's like you said, finance or a business coach or social media and marketing. Like that is the way to go. Cause again, there's a lot of, like, we all think we can learn things, and we can, but do you really have the time? And are you sure you're really learning everything that you need to learn? And are you learning the right stuff? Because again, there's no shortage of places willing to take your money.
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, I can do my own bookkeeping. I took accounting in school. I don't want to. I don't have the time. That's not my zone of genius. So I outsource that.
Exactly. No, so I think we talked about this. Do they get the money before they spend it, or do they get reimbursed afterwards?
They get the money as soon as they're approved. Like as soon as they go through the full process, the money gets sent to their bank account.
That's easy. I mean, that's great. Cause I mean, I know with a lot of grants, just looking at the municipal level, they got to spend the money first and they got to submit receipts. And I think that's a lot with some places.
No, so they get the funds right away.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
very fast. I've heard of businesses getting it in a couple of days.
That's great.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's an amazing program.
Awesome. So how long, I think we talked about this, how long would you just estimate the process to take? Maybe 8 to 10 hours. I would kind of say the same thing, possibly.
Yeah. That would be on the long end.
Yeah, and that's all in. I'm not like, that's all in. And that, like, like that's including actually thinking it out and actually like coming up with a plan. So the due date for submitting an application.
It closes October 31st.
Awesome. And then I think there's a date that we talked or that we looked at that the money needs to be spent by.
The funds need to be spent, as far as I can remember, by February 28, 2022. So it's like 4 months that they have to spend and send in their receipts. That's
awesome. And do you have any idea what happens if you send in the receipts and they like, do they reject them? You have no idea. Like have you had that experience yet?
I have not had that experience, though. I spoke to a woman who got the grant a couple years ago, or whenever it first came out, I guess.
I remember
just
something
before
like
the pandemic, I think was the first round, actually.
Yep.
And she didn't use her funds in the allotted time and had to give them back.
Okay. So you got to use up the funds.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that should be easy. You got 4 months. And I mean, if you actually have a plan and you move on it, then you should be good to go. I mean, I know the winter season's busy for some people, but again, this is important. And again, you don't want to be left behind, because I mean,
the other thing that I want to mention too about the application deadline, it is published as October 31st, but we have been told that the grant funds are limited. So if they go over a certain amount, and I have no idea what that is, but the grants would close early. Like the funds are limited, so the application deadline might actually not be October 31st. So if you're thinking about doing this, please do yourself a favor, do your business a favor, just do it today. Just get that initial process started. You create an account, you sign up for those initial questions and get that pre-approval, and then at least you're into the system. Do not hesitate. Do it right now.
Exactly. I mean, you might find out you don't have something you actually need. I mean, like, for example, I know you need to have your articles of incorporation. And if you need to go searching for those, it's best that you do that now, or sooner than later, because you don't want to be waiting until the day of and then, oh, wow, I need to call up my accountant or somebody that maybe, or my lawyer who maybe has them on hand.
So just get started, because it's so worth it.
Exactly. So actually, how do businesses apply for the Digital Main Street grant? I think they go to Digital Main Street
Yes,
.ca.
mainstreet.ca. And then, I mean, we'll share the link obviously in the show notes,
Yep.
but you go to your province. So it's good to know, just in case any Josh's listeners are outside of the province, New Brunswick currently has a very similar program. So if you know of any business owners in New Brunswick, I think they're actually getting $3,000.
Oh, that's nice.
I know. So you click on Ontario and then you click on DMS Ontario grants.
Yep.
And then the Digital Transformation Grant Program. And that's the one that we're talking about today, is the $2,500 grant to implement their digital transformation plan. And all the information is on that landing page about businesses that that qualify and perhaps businesses that don't. So for example, it's not eligible for a nonprofit organization is not eligible. A franchise business is not eligible. So if you're part of a chain or franchise, if you're like a professional that is under a broker, you're not eligible to apply. So say you're a real estate agent with Remax, you're not eligible to apply, or you're a mortgage agent with Mortgage Alliance, you're not an eligible business.
I didn't know that. That's good to know.
Yeah, and if you're only an online business, so say you just sell widgets on a Shopify store, and that's all your business does, you're not eligible to apply. So there's a few other things, but you can refer to the website. Basically, if you're a brick and mortar business and you have a physical location, you're going to be eligible to apply. So any retail store, any restaurant, any even businesses like farms that have a farm store, plumbers that have a shop, like those types of businesses are really good candidates for this grant.
Yeah, and we have tons of businesses like this in Dufferin. I mean, and elsewhere outside of Dufferin, obviously, but there's a lot of businesses that can definitely take advantage of this program.
Hundreds.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing. We want to see as many businesses get elevated, lifted through this pandemic so that they not only survive, but they thrive afterwards. And that's what happens when you invest in your digital presence, because it's not going away. Like, imagine the world in 5 years from now. Are we going to be less technologically advanced or more? Probably more. So we need to make sure our businesses adapt and stay on trend.
Exactly. I mean, and they're giving this money out to somebody. It might as well be you. It's
not your competition.
Exactly.
Or yes, your competition, because we should support our competition.
Yeah, but at least get it here in Dufferin County. At least for the Dufferin County listeners, get it here for us. Because again, money's going somewhere. But so I want to make sure I hit on this. How can Dufferin Media assist businesses in digitally transforming?
Yeah, so we can, there are some businesses that don't have a website yet, and the grant can be used towards the website creation. There's businesses that have a website, but potentially those websites are a bit outdated. So we can do a website refresh and update and get some content maybe written for them. If they have a website, it's fabulous, and their goal now is to drive more traffic to that website. We can discuss strategies for social media management and search engine optimization. If they're just looking for social media, we can do a social media campaign. The grant program actually covers a full year of social media under a certain plan, and I can certainly share more information, but I put together a special package for small businesses where the grant would be fully applied for 1 year of social media marketing. So that's a benefit. Awesome. And then we have our new Reels and TikTok services. So that's another option too, to take advantage of those new avenues. I mean, Reels have been an incredible boost to our clients' Instagram accounts. So that's been something that we're trying to get everybody migrated over to, because that's where the algorithms are favoring. Not that they're not doing the regular posts and the stories, but Reels are definitely getting more engagement. So those are all different options. Even if they don't come to us for the service or the full service, we're here. I'm here. I'm available at any time to answer any questions. If they're just not sure what the grants might be best used for their business, I'm a media strategist, and I am always thrilled to talk to business owners and to figure out how they can overcome their challenges and achieve their goals and grow their business. So I'm even here just, no charge, no obligation. Feel free to hit me up on any of my social media channels, any of my email. I always offer a free half-hour consultation. if you even just need help with that part of the form that has to do with defining your plan, I'd be happy to give you some ideas. And it might include branding photography, but it might be beneficial for the business to do something that's slightly different from any of those solutions, but still part of the eligible uses of the funds. Then I'm here to help. So please give me a call.
Well, I mean, again, just one example that you brought up to my attention that I completed the course was getting a light box for product photography. Like one of your clients mentioned, like you mentioned that for one of your clients, that when your clients is doing that, that's like, I never even thought about that. I wouldn't have thought that was eligible, but that is great. It allows you to keep doing things on your own in the future. And
yeah, where did I saw that somewhere that some of the funds can be used towards equipment.
Yeah, up to $1,000 can be used for equipment.
I actually heard of someone using part of the funds for an iPad, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can use it, especially if it's hooked up to your point of sale systems for like Square and stuff like that.
Yeah. So there's so many possibilities, and any way to grow and benefit your business. Let's do it.
Yeah, like you said, it's probably a good idea to reach out to you, or again, like the town of Orangeville has a coordinator as well. But reach out to somebody that actually is in the know, because chances are you can get something covered. I mean, it's not just a website. You can get photography done. You can get some ads, like digital ads, improving your website, because again, that's a big deal too. I mean, it's not just having a website. I mean, like search engine optimization, which you've mentioned, I know you guys are good at, like that's a big difference maker. I mean, you want to be higher on the Google list than everybody else as much as you can be, especially without paying for it too, directly for ads. So
that's one of the sayings we have in SEO. You don't need to be number one, but you need to be ahead of your competition.
Exactly. So, okay, awesome. So if one is interested in contacting Dufferin Media, how do they do that?
So Dufferin Media can be found at www.dufferinmedia.com. All of our social media handles are Dufferin Media. You can reach out to me at any time, Sarah at dufferinmedia.ca. That's Sarah with an H. I'm sure Josh will include that in the show notes.
Yep.
And just to be clear, we are a vendor of the Digital Main Street program. We're not directly affiliated with them, but we're very honored that they have listed us as a vendor, and we are thrilled that they're helping so many businesses in Ontario to help elevate their digital presence. So we're not directly affiliated with them, and there's going to be lots of questions that we may not know that you would ask them directly, or ask our local coordinator, Christine, who is a wealth of knowledge and very quick to respond. So we're all here. We're all on the same team. We want to help all businesses thrive and survive.
Awesome. And I do see you guys listed on the Digital Main Street website under the vendor directory. Awesome. So thank you so much, Sarah. Like, was there anything else you'd like to share with the people of Dufferin?
Don't hesitate. Please, if you think you're eligible, go ahead and take that initial step. Go to the website, sign up for an account, and complete the initial questionnaire. Just that process takes 10 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
And it could be the best 10 minutes that you spend on your business this year.
And I don't even think you need to dig anything up. I think it's just like yes and no questions and just filling it out. Like maybe you need your HST number. Maybe. I think maybe you just have to answer yes or no if you have one.
Yeah, I think the initial questionnaire is actually quite simple.
Yeah, very easy. Very easy. So that's awesome. I mean, again, all of it relatively is probably some of the easiest $2,500 you're probably going to get for your business, especially to improve it.
Yes.
So this is great. And I'm glad there's people in the community that can actually help, such as yourself. Because I mean, this, even again, for someone such as myself, I'm still learning a ton, again, even after talking with you and going through the program already. So, I mean, it is beneficial to talk with somebody. There's no doubt. So awesome. So thank you so much, Sarah. And thank you so much for taking the time to discuss the Digital Main Street program with us.
Thank you for having me on the program, Josh. I look forward to working with some more businesses and helping them through this process.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. And again, this is Josh McCune with Dufferin News. And if you're interested in learning more about the program, well, first you can check out with dufferinmedia.com, or you can go to digitalmainstreet.ca or orangeville.ca/digitalmainstreet. Thank you so much and have a great one. Thanks.